evening. This is CTV News for Friday, April 18th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, a Prince George's company is involved in looking for that missing Malaysian plane. Largo-based Phoenix International has sent crew and an unmanned submarine to that search zone, and Byron Scott is joining us now with more on the story.
Patty, they're right down the block here, and this has been going on for a long time, this search. Well, in the 41 days since that flight went down, the search for that missing plane has been frustrating and relentless. From reports of debris floating in the southern Indian Ocean to an oil slick to those pings emanating from deep below the surface, nothing connected to that flight has been found thus far. Now, the world has followed this story, and so has the Prince George's County Company.
And on March 22nd, we were tasked by the Navy to travel to Australia.
Phoenix International is a marine services company, a go-to contractor when things go missing deep underwater. Phoenix is involved in the search for the missing plane. The Largo-based company sent a crew of 9, along with its underwater submarine known as Artemis, to the Indian Ocean. Artemis has made about 5 dives in that area. It can descend 15,000 feet below the surface and spend about 2 hours underwater and cover an area of roughly 8 square miles.
For the autonomous underwater vehicle operations, you get the vehicle in the water, it goes down and does its pre-programmed mission, and then it comes back, and then you process the data, get the vehicle back in the water. It's just the routine that we're in, and that's the way we operate.
And take a look at this. It's called a towed pinger device. One just like this has detected pings from Flight 370. And this is a pinger. It's little more than a small cylinder filled with electronics. And this is what's inside those black boxes.
Now, in this scenario, when we were looking for the black boxes, it was towards the very end of the battery life. And we did hear some pings, but not enough to truly centralize the location. We have a general sense of where they're coming from, but not a pinpoint.
Choose your output first, so you go 03 for here.
Phoenix has a lot of experience with underwater searching. This is Remora 3. It is the actual submarine that recovered the black boxes from Air France Flight 477. That plane went down in 2009. It took 2 years to recover the black boxes.
It's kind of an open-ended search right now. It's being governed by the search operation. We have a search area. We're slowly working our way through the search area that's been kind of defined. Once we get through that search area, there'll probably be a reassessing period and kind of a phased approach to this operation.
Well, I talked to Lahardy, and he said this could go on for quite some time. He said they're very confident they're in the general area. They're in touch with their crews every single day out in that area of the world, but they're not sure. It took 2 years to find, the Air France flight black box. So he says it may take a lot longer.
And we're talking already 5 weeks into this,
Yes.
So could be a year or more.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Byron. Well, this is a sacred day for Christians around the world and here locally. In Tacoma Park, many poured into the streets outside of Our Lady of Sorrows Church for an annual Good Friday event known as the Stations of the Cross. As Denise Douglas explains, it's an experience that many say they don't forget.
We're at the start of the procession here at Our Lady of Sorrows Church, where Jesus is beginning his walk to Calvary. Take a look right in there. You can see exactly how intense and dramatic this is. Now, while this is a recreation, it seems very real for many of the Christians out here. As far back as she can remember, Sylvia Talavera has come here to mark Good Friday.
Muy lindo participar. Se siente uno.
18 years, she says. And it's beautiful, adding that it makes her feel devoted to God. It's also a chance for her and hundreds of others who come out to walk in Jesus Christ's footsteps. In this dramatic and emotional procession, Jesus is whipped while on his way to Calvary, which is recreated on a 2.5-mile route along New Hampshire Avenue. Some watch, others follow, and everyone says they remember his sacrifice.
Logramos la ocasión y la bendición que Dios nos da llegar a este día.
It's a blessing, she says, that God brought us to this day. Ultimately, Munoz and many here are hoping future generations take note of how Christ lived and use it as an example for their lives. You can see the flood of people continuing in the procession. Christians around the area will continue to honor this sacred time with events tomorrow leading up to Easter service on Sunday. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And you can log on to the website for St. Camillus Catholic Church in Silver Spring to find out more details about Easter activities. Well, since August 2013, Montgomery County has averaged one child abuse death per month for children under the age of 4. The shocking statistic comes as the county launches a new effort to battle a dramatic increase in child deaths and serious injuries due to child abuse. Most of the abuse is reportedly coming from young parents aged 17 to 24. Montgomery is hoping to lure them to free parenting classes and support groups. For more information on services provided, you can call Montgomery County's Department of Health and Human Services. That number is 240-777-4000. Well, a boy is rescued after his hand gets stuck in an escalator at a Prince George's shopping mall. The incident happened about 8:45 last night at the Temple Hills Burlington Coat Factory inside of the Iverson Mall. Now, this photo was taken as first responders worked to free the 6-year-old child. A fire department spokesman says that the rescue was challenging and tedious. After working for more than 2 hours, firefighters managed to extricate the boy's hand. He was taken to a hospital and was discharged this afternoon. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up after the break, it's all hands on deck at the Maryland Comptroller's office as hundreds of employees open thousands of last-minute tax returns.
Lots of hands are going to touch it. It's going to have to be smoothed out and scanned and the data dumped, and then